Hi guys, welcome back to Money and Chi. And first of all, I would like to say thank you to those who already subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe now. And also, I would like to say thank you to everyone who signed up for my Patreon account. Because of that, of course, as my patrons, I asked them what stocks they want to be analyzed for fundamental aspect. And this one is requested by Jerome, and we're gonna talk about MRC Allied. So it's not very liquid in a sense, it's not well traded, and we'll talk about that now. So before anything else, by the way, I would like to request you guys to please download my mobile application. It's called Clean Earth. It's available in iOS and Android, so please download it. It's free and it will help you save the planet. So for those of you guys who've been watching my videos, you know that I'm doing both things. I love saving the planet and also teaching people in investment and finance. So please download it. It's in the link below as well if you want to. And if you guys want to join my Patreon account as well, then the link is also below. And what else? I think that's it. So if you're ready, guys, let's start. Of course, guys, let's start now. So the first thing that we do is ABC strategy. In our ABC strategy is analyze. So in the analyzation process, we do two things: qualitative and quantitative analysis. So let's start now with qualitative. So guys, one of the things as well that catch my eyes was actually the management. So when I saw Gus Cosio, he's the CEO and president of MRC Allied, and if you guys know him or don't know him, he was kind of famous in the finance industry. So he used to head the First Metro Sec, FAMI, I think, on the fund management side. So as I can see, this company looks like more of gearing towards, you know, more financing aspect in terms of building the stock price up. So what else? Fund, getting new clients or new funding. Kasi when I read the annual report, it seems like magkakaroon sila ng problema in terms of operations. So let's now focus on what are the businesses na meron si MRC Allied this time. So they are into properties, they are into mining, and they are into renewable energy. And if you're watching closely MRC, they also did some transaction with Chinese companies selling sand. Okay, so the way I see it, like in the property sector, they were saying that they have a 2 township development, but when I look at the annual statement, there's no really revenue coming from that. So when I search further, I think they have huge land bank, property development in Naga and Cebu. So I think dun sa picture nila nakita yung Kyocera, and I've gone through that road several times, so I've seen that location, and probably that's where they have the most of the land bank that they have. But I'm not quite sure how it was developed or how it is profiting right now, kasi from the looks of it, from their financial statement, wala siyang movement. So I'm wondering, kasi wala rin yung earnings from that. I'm not sure if it's, even if it's subsidiary, it should at least give, you know, revenue to the parent company, which is zero, at least zero talaga for the past 5 years. So I don't know what's happening there. I cannot take that as a good fundamental indicator in a sense, kasi there's no movement. And even if I look at the other information, wala rin sila masyado. I think they are not focused in the property development as of the moment. They are more focused on the renewable energy aspect. Another thing is, yun nga, they have mining exploration. They have more activity in this segment. They have, I think, closed some contracts with the exploration. But the thing is, for mining kasi, parang oil exploration din yan, diba? So, maraming maraming investment, tapos hindi ka sure kung magkakaroon ba talaga sila makakahukay ba talaga sila doon ng ore, ng gold. But mostly nung focus nila is gold mining. So, let's just see. Right now, wala pa silang nahuhukay kasi kung may nahukay sila, mag-shoot up yung prices nun. So, in any mining company, that's what you have to look for. Kasi diba, yung exploration, naghahanap sila, naghuhukay sila, ganyan. And at the end of the day, if wala silang mahanap, then sayang yung investment na yun. Parang maglalaho siya na parang bula. But if may mahanap, may mahukay sila na gold doon, lalabas yun sa news and definitely mag-shoot up yung price if that happens. Another segment that they have is the renewable energy. Ito yung funny kasi yung sa renewable energy, they are into solar. So they have these contracts and so they got 15% of Sepalco, it's in Sulu. But when I look at the annual report, they are not selling. In the annual report, they didn't get the fit. So they are selling in WSM. And during that time, ito kasi yung time na lahat gusto mag-solar eh. Even Megawatt that time is into solar. And nakakatawa pa sa lahat ng developers. Makulit sila kahit na sabihin mo na this will not work or this is not good. Kahit na bagsak sa evaluation ng due diligence, they will still push for the project. Kasi they are thinking na hindi, magaling, okay to kasi lahat nasa solar. Tapos they're looking at getting the 500 feed-in tariff from DOE. Tapos biglang sabay-sabay, they all, alam niyo yun. So, they're probably one of those people who is trying to get into the feed-in tariff, but they failed. So, they're selling directly to the WSM. And if that price, if I'm looking at that time of the pricing, looking back, that time, probably the cost per kilowatt hour for solar that huge is that size is approximately 7 pesos per kilowatt hour. I think, yeah, that's the best price that you can get, at 7 peso per kilowatt hour. And they're selling in WSM, which is probably around 3 pesos per kilowatt hour. So if you're thinking at, like, of course, if you want a good IRR, yung 7 pesos na yun is a 15% IRR. Remember, in DOE and ERC, they will not allow you to have more than 15% IRR. They are very good with that, so they can actually calculate. You have to submit your cost. And there's also a way of ERC the government to make sure that they're not pricing the electricity too much for us. And that's the reason why I think they are losing a lot of money for that. Because, yeah, kahit 15% yun, you have to infuse more capital into it. The capital expense that you have with that, the debt and everything, sobrang maraming na baon dyan sa solar projects na yan. Maraming nagka-problema. And it's because they don't know the industry and they just entered into it. And in solar, it's very important. The first thing, napakadali magtayo ng solar. Meron kang flat land, walang shading, mahaba yung dry season. Then, it's a good thing na, okay, kuha ng service contract for that land, tapos i-develop mo in a sense, tapos kumuha ng developer na bibili, i-flip mo sa bibili na developer talaga. And kikita ka ng malaki. And the problem is, yung mga developers na wala namang experience na, ayun, mga companies na pumasok, dun sila natalo. And napakalaking capital ng renewable energy, just so you know. And it's not a funny game na maraming nagpasok dun. Parang naging marketing siya, no? So, I think they're one of those people na who got stuck into it and just have to, just go through with it. And learning from experience, then I think that's how they got into other new contracts. Kasi, like for example, they have a contract in North Luzon, I think, for a mall. And then they're doing that again for Mindanao. Kasi the thing is, in energy, sorry, you have to get a PPA, so power purchase agreement. And if you don't have that, then your revenue is not secured. You'll have a hard time getting a financing. And look, from the looks of it, the financial statement, mukhang they will have a problem in terms of operations in the future. If ever anything, their DE ratio is at 4. So, medyo sagad na yung pag-utang nila. And they have to infuse new equity for them to be able to raise debt. So, the only way for them to raise capital is to infuse equity from existing shareholders or to do SRO. Most likely, if something goes well, then they will push for SRO. Take note of that. Okay, so that's it, I guess, for the fundamental. Let's move on now to quantitative analysis. So the MRC is kind of really bad. Like, it's the the earnings report. Diba, first thing that we have to check is 5-year earnings report, and as you can see, it's been going down for 5 years now, which is not very good. Kasi let's just look at it this way. MRC is probably like the exploration kind of company. If you want to invest into it, you are looking at the growth potential, or the potential it might get something in the mining, in the renewable energy, and even in the property. So the thing is, yeah, they might be able to sell their property, then that's an earning for them, but probably they will use that for expansion of their existing. Problematic for me in a sense kasi very speculative play siya. So that's all I can say. MRC is gonna be very speculative play because there's no fundamental, and for me, you know me, I don't invest on companies without good fundamentals. And this is definitely a no-no for me. If you're a position trader like me and who's very risk sensitive in a sense, then I suggest not to enter MRC until there's a very clear path in terms of revenue, okay? But if you are a speculative player, then you might kind of check into it once in a while, lalo na kung nagkakaroon ng momentum in terms of the trades. But be cautious, be very cautious, kasi ito yung mga bagay na, or mga stocks na pwede kang mabuhusan at ma-stock forever kasi wala nga siyang laman. Wala pa siyang laman. So the year-on-year EPS growth is also low, and the PE of course wala rin, diba? So even though the PE is really low, but the thing is, wala siyang earnings. Okay, so the quantitative analysis for MRC is definitely not good. So the only thing that we can do is just go through the charting. Kasi I checked the broker's recommendation, and it's kind of difficult to find one as well. And it's mostly speculative play rin, like more on trading side. So not much in terms of fundamentals. Okay, so now let's move on to the charting. And as you can see, medyo bullish yung sorry, yeah, this is the 200 EMA, and this is the 50, and as you can see, nag-cross over na si 50k 200, so it's definitely bullish in the chart. And as you can see as well, meron siyang momentum dito, but we all know naman, if there's a momentum going up, there's a momentum going down as well. It might go down to its support level, which is gonna be this EMA. So probably here, baka umabot dito, or maybe here at 0.28. And then after that, before you enter, I would say check muna if they will cross. So I put this trend line here, and in this trend line, if this, so let's extend the trend line. So just in case it breaks this trend line, then it's definitely gonna fall again. And if it just bounce back, then it's a good time to enter, and then maybe it can move within this range. And just so you know, guys, medyo
sold, overbought din siya dito. So, it's definitely might be really going down in the short term. Yun. And if we're looking at, this is the 1 year movement of MRC, but let's look at 3 years para naman makita from where it started. So, okay. So, it's been trading at 0.8 ganyan prior to mga 2018 September. So, and then it's just moving within this range. As you can see, yung range niya mostly nandito sa 0.3738 and 0.29. So, malakas tong resistance na to. And you can see if it breaks the resistance, probably it can go up here. But it definitely needs some catalyst for it to move within that area. Pero this is a strong area that you can play with. So, it can be 0.29, 0.37. So, that's how I look at it. And right now, sa MACD rin, seems like medyo bullish yung trend na pinapakita niya, and there's some kind of momentum. Okay? So that's how I can see it in the charting level. Just be careful kasi etong level niya na lowest niya nun is na 0.1 is medyo malakas din siya. So it might go down, but we'll see. Just be cautious when you're investing in MRC. Yun lang masasabi ko kasi very speculative siya. Okay? So, etong spikes na to, you have to check ano yung news. So, you have to go to February 2018. Check anong news yung nag-cause ng spike nito. And that's the kind of news that you have to look for it to spike again that high. Okay? So that's it for charting.
So just to recap, guys, first, the fundamentals is not very good, so this is very speculative play. Yeah, you just have to look at the chart because we have no chance of knowing when it's, and look at the news as well if they have some new things going on. So the only shining light I can see here is because they have the president, which is Gus Kosho, and he's known for being a good head as well. So hopefully he can turn around this company, but we're not very sure about that. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. It might have some good thing happening, but yeah, we're not very sure. Ayan guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to request a video as well, you can join my Patreon account. And also I put there some of my play, like if you have question for a stock and you want to know when to buy, sell, something like that, you can ask that in my Patreon account as well, and I am glad to answer that, but of course with a caution na hindi lahat ng analysis is tumpak, you know, pack, no. So anyways guys, thank you so much again. If you have time, please download my mobile application. It's called Clean Earth. Yes, it's let's save the planet and save our money and earn, diba? Why not? So thank you so much guys, and have a great day. Bye.